Over at the ball, the prince did not know what to think. "Why do you have that sad look on your face?" the queen said to her son. "Look around you. You could not ask for finer maidens than these." "I know, mother," said the prince. Yet he knew something was wrong. He had met many of the young women. Yet after he said hello, one by one, he could find nothing more to say. "Look!" Someone pointed to the front door. "Who is that?" All heads turned. Who was that lovely maiden stepping down the stairs? She held her head tall and looked as if she belonged. But no one knew her. "There is something about her," said the prince to himself. "I will ask her to dance." And he walked over to Cinderella. "Have we met?" said the prince. "I am pleased to meet you now," said Cinderella with a bow. "I feel as if I know you," said the prince. "But of course, that is impossible." "Many things are possible," said Cinderella, "if you wish them to be true." The prince felt a leap in his heart. He and Cinderella danced. When the song was over, they danced again. And then they danced again, and yet again. Soon the other maidens at the ball grew jealous. "Why is he dancing all the time with her?" they said. "How rude!" But all the prince could see was Cinderella. They laughed and talked, and they danced some more. In fact, they danced for so long that Cinderella did not see the clock. Did not see the clock. "Dong," said the clock. Cinderella looked up. "Dong," went the clock again. She looked up again. "Oh, my," she cried out. "It is almost midnight." "Dong," rung the clock. "Why does that matter?" said the prince. "Dong," called the clock. "I must go," said Cinderella. "Dong," went the clock. "But we just met," said the prince. "Why leave now?" "Dong," rung the clock. "I must go," said Cinderella. She ran to the steps. "Dong," said the clock. "I cannot hear you," said the prince. "The clock is too loud." "Dong," rung the clock. "Goodbye," said Cinderella. Up, up the stairs she ran. "Dong," went the clock. "Please, stop for a moment," said the prince. "Oh, dear," she said as one glass slipper fell off her foot on the stair. But Cinderella kept running up. "Dong," said the clock. "Please wait a moment," said the prince. "Dong," rung the clock. "Goodbye." Cinderella turned one last time. Then she rushed out the door. Dong. The clock was quiet. It was midnight. All the gifts given by the fairy godmother were gone. The driver, the carriage, the horse, and the dress were gone. Cinderella returned to her shabby. Only one glass shoe was left for her. "Wait," called the prince. He picked up her glass slipper and rushed out the door. He looked around but could not see her blue dress anywhere. "This is all I have left from her," he said, looking down at the glass slipper. He saw that it was made in a special way, to fit a foot like none other. "Somewhere there is the other glass slipper," he said. "And when I find it, I will find her, too. Then I will ask her to be my bride." From hut to hut, from house to house, went the prince. One young woman after another tried to fit her foot inside the glass slipper. But none could fit. And so the prince moved on. At last the prince came to Cinderella's house. "He is coming," called one stepsister as she looked out the window. "At the door," screamed the other stepsister. "Quick!" yelled the stepmother. "Get ready! One of you must be the one to fit your foot in that slipper. No matter what." The prince knocked. The stepmother flew open the door. "Come in," she said. "I have two lovely daughters for you to see." The first stepsister tried to place her foot in the glass slipper. She tried hard, but it just would not fit. Then the second stepsister tried to fit her foot inside. She tried and tried with all her might, too. But no dice. Are there no other young women in the house? Said the prince. None, said the stepmother. Then I must go, said the prince. Maybe there is one more, said Cinderella, stepping into the room. I thought you said there were no other young women here, said the prince. None who matter, said the stepmother in a hiss. Come here, said the prince. Cinderella stepped up to him. The prince got down on one knee and tried the glass slipper on her foot. It fit perfectly. Then, from her pocket Cinderella took out something. It was the other glass slipper. I knew it, he cried. You are the one. What? Shouted a stepsister. Not her, screamed the other stepsister. This cannot be, yelled the stepmother. But it was too late. The prince knew that Cinderella was the one. He looked into her eyes. He did not see the cinders in her hair or the ashes on her face. I have found you, he said. And I have found you, said Cinderella. It was the prince who ordered the shoes. The prince heard rumors of a lady making good shoes, and he ordered some glass shoes for someone. But as soon as he saw Cinderella, he fell in love with her and ordered the glass shoes the size of her Cinderella's feet. He thought she had something special about her. And he wanted her to show up at her palace with her glass shoes. Then she appeared at the ball. The prince did not recognize her at the beginning of her, but he recognized her by looking at her glass shoes as he danced. Cinderella was proud of herself. Because she gained a prince through her own abilities and her efforts. So Cinderella and the prince got married. The prince knew she made good shoes. When it rained, the shoes were peeled off well. The farmers often had their shoes peeled off every time they worked, and the soldiers also done. This was a big problem for the country. So, the prince ordered Cinderella for shoes that couldn't be peeled off. After a few days of contemplation, she used the laces on the shoes. Because when she was a child, she remembered that a merchant used laces on his shoes. Since then, Cinderella has come up with a variety of shoes, and her abilities have helped the country a lot. The prince loved her very much and they lived happily ever after.